Lesson 107. In this lesson, we're learning another verb from the second conjugation, and that's deleo. The infinitive form is delere. Notice how there's an E before the O in deleo, and notice also how in the infinitive form, delere, the third letter from the end is an E. Let's take a look at our exercises. In exercise number 1, delent is the verb. That means they destroy or they are destroying, but we don't need the word they because agricolae is the subject. Silvam is the direct object. So number 1 says, the farmers are destroying the forest. In number 2, desidero is the verb. That means I want or I long for. Delere is the infinitive form of deleo, and that means to destroy. There are two direct objects here, kasas and skafasque. The que ending on skafasque is like putting the word and between kasas and skafas. Insularum is a genitive plural that is possessing kasas and skafasque. So number 2 will say, I want to destroy the houses and boats of the islands. In number 3, there are two clauses, one before the word quod and one after. In the first clause, potes means you are able, and it's being negated by the word non. Delere is an infinitive that means to destroy. Skafas is the direct object, and nautarum is a genitive plural that is possessing skafas. In the second clause, servant is the verb, nautai is the subject, and skafas is the direct object. So number 3 will read like this. You are not able to destroy the boats of the sailors because the sailors are guarding the boats. Or, you are not able to destroy the sailors' boats because the sailors are guarding the boats. In number 4, desiderant is the verb. That means they long for or they want. We don't need the word they because weary is the subject. Patriam is the direct object, and servare is an infinitive that means to guard. So number 4 says, the men want to guard the homeland, or the men are longing to guard the homeland. In number 5, delent is the verb. That means they destroy or they are destroying, but we don't need the word they because bestiae is the subject. Silvae is a genitive singular that's possessing bestiae. Kasam is the direct object. So number 5 says, the beasts of the forest are destroying the house. In number 6, servamus is the verb. That means we guard or we are guarding. There are two direct objects here, viros and feminasque. The que ending on the end of feminasque is like putting the word and between viros and feminas. Patriae is a genitive singular that is possessing viros and feminasque. So number 6 says, we are guarding the men and women of the homeland. In number 7, there are two clauses, one before the word quod and one after. In the first one, potest means he, she, or it is able, but we don't need he, she, or it because regina is the subject. Viro is the dative singular form of vir, and that's the indirect object. Pecuniam is the direct object. Dare is an infinitive that means to give, and non is negating the verb. In the second clause, habet is the verb. That means he, she, or it has, and there's no other word in this clause to be the subject. We've already established in the first clause that we're talking about the queen, so we'll use the word she as the subject of the second clause. Non is negating habet, and pecuniam is the direct object. So number 7 will read like this. The queen is not able to give money to the man because she does not have money. In number 8, est is the verb. That means he, she, or it is, but we don't need the he, she, or it because casa is the subject. Weary is the genitive singular form of wir, and that's possessing casa. Prope actam is a prepositional phrase. So number 8 says, the house of the man is near the seashore, or the man's house is near the seashore. In number 9, desidero is the verb. That means I want or I long for. Natare is an infinitive that means to swim. And then we have two prepositional phrases, ab insula and ad patriam. So number 9 will say, I am longing to swim from the island to the homeland. In number 10, ambulamos is the verb. That means we walk or we are walking. Cum puellis and ad scholam are both prepositional phrases. Cum puellis means with the girls, and ad scholam means to school. So number 10 says, we are walking to school with the girls.